Today we'll be working in my workbook called The Chronological Study of End Times, Part 1. And looking at the table of contents, we've already completed Chapter 1, which was Rapture, and that compares really well with Revelation 4. Then we handled Chapter 2, which was all the events that I know need to be in place before tribulation starts. So whether they happen between rapture and tribulation, or they happen before rapture and finish before tribulation, these all need to be in place, or at least preparing to be in place. Now in chapter 3, we get into the seven seals. And before that, to understand what the seven seals are, is you have God giving Jesus the title deed to earth. And it's in a scroll, and he's opening the seven seals on that scroll, and that's the seven seals. We go through the seven seals, the first four seals being the four horsemen of the apocalypse. First seal is the Antichrist, and we have a lot of description in the Bible about the Antichrist and who he is. Then we have, of course, at that point, the peace treaty is signed, and at that point, tribulation starts when the peace treaty is signed. The Jerusalem temple is rebuilt. Again, that's one of those things that has to be completely rebuilt by mid-trib. So, and the latest estimate says it could take 3 years to build. So, anyway, so I know that some of these events here probably get it so that Jerusalem temple can be rebuilt. Then we have the second seal opened, which is war. Even though the Antichrist is a world leader, other people don't agree with it. And so here comes World War III. And of course, that makes food scarce, which is the third seal. And the fourth seal is death. Now, the fifth seal is not a judgment, but the result of Christians being killed, persecuted Christians we see under the altar. It's a very key verse because it actually gives us some ideas that people can know what's going on earth in heaven. And so it's a really key verse on a couple of things. Sixth seal is the cosmic troubles, that is asteroids, meteors, the sky is rolled back like a scroll. Don't know what that means, but we see more asteroids hitting the earth and meteors and stuff after this fact. So then they hold the seventh seal back, which is the trumpets. They hold them back until this 144 Jewish evangelists, is what I call them, are sealed, and that's 12,000 from each tribe. They're like Paul, and so they are sealed with a seal on their foreheads before the trumpets are sound. And why is that? Is the trumpets are judgments, but they are not judgments on those who have the seal of Christ on them. Then we get into the seven trumpets. First thing, we have symbolically fire thrown down to earth, and that's the prayers of the saints from the incense burner being thrown down to earth, saying, okay, now the saints are going to be avenged. So the first trumpet is blown, and trees and grass are burned. And then the second and third trumpets have to deal with water sources. And the fourth trumpet is diminishing the light that comes to the earth, both from the sun and the moon. Now, this is where we are. Before the next trumpet, we have 2 items that need to be completed. And I believe, let me look where I planned. Yeah, so we're just going to deal with those 2 items. So let me go to them. Oops, that's too far. First, we have the 3 woes. Again, looking at our timeline, we're inside tribulation before the mid-trib, and you notice the 3 woes are actually up in heaven, and basically it's in our atmosphere heaven, I think. So let's go ahead and see them. Revelation 8:13, and I looked and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the remaining blasts of the trumpet of the 3 angels who are about to sound. So what is flying in the midst of the heaven? An angel. How many woes are said? 3. What is the angel warning the inhabitants of the earth about? Um, the remaining blasts of the trumpets of the three angels who are about to sound are going to be terrific. Can the people of the earth hear the angel? Although it seems strange to hear a voice from heaven, yet it would not be a warning if people he is warning couldn't hear it. So, if these are judgments, why is the angel warning the people of the earth? The first four trumpets, bad as they were, caused problems to the environment, whereas the inhabitants of the earth lived. They did not hurt them specifically. The next two will hurt them physically. Then the bowls happen during the second half of the tribulation when evil is everywhere. Also remember, the whole reason for the tribulation is to bring people to Christ. Occasionally there are warnings like this, and just before Babylon is destroyed, a warning is given to the inhabitants. Revelation 18:4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, unless you receive some of her plagues." Some translations of the Bible have an eagle flying rather than an angel, which is correct. Actually, there's a big debate on this issue. Both the King James and the New King James have the word angel, whereas the New International, the New American Standard, and many others have the word eagle. Looking at the original Greek word, the translation is angel or messenger. Even logic will tell you that it's probably an angel. After all, has there been any situation where an eagle spoke? Whereas we have many incidences in the Bible where angels speak. What are the three woes? It is logical to assume that the three woes warned about are the balance of the trumpet blasts, as stated in Scripture. However, the last trumpet, which is the seventh trumpet, is really the seven bowls of judgment. So is this really the last woe? If that is true, then the last woe would really be seven judgments in itself. But here's another solution. First, let's look a moment before the discussion of the woes continued. After the fifth trumpet, the scriptures say, Revelations 9:2, one woe is past, behold, still two more woes are coming after these things. Then after the sixth trumpet, the scriptures say, Revelation 11:14, the second woe is past, behold, the third woe is coming quickly. Both of these woes are demonic and evil in nature. Now, the next time we hear the word woe is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows he has a short time. It may be that this third woe, as it's stated, a woe, it is also evil. Hopefully you understood that. Can the people on the earth hear the angel, and why do you believe this? Well, I think the logic says if it's a warning, it has to be heard. Is it an eagle or an angel that flies through the sky? Why do you believe this? I don't know that it matters. The matter is what it says. It makes more logical sense that it's an angel over an eagle that talks, but it's what he says that's more important. What are the three woes? Well, we know that the woes are identified, at least the first two. Whether the third one is just after the third woe or just before the third woe, I don't know. We'll have to see. Now, again, before the next trumpet, we have the bottomless pit being opened. Now, as you see, the warning of the three woes, it was the angel or an eagle in our atmosphere sky. When the angel opens the bottomless pit, even though it's in the heaven, they're coming down from heaven to open the bottomless pit. So you can put it in both places, right? Okay, so let's take a look. The bottomless pit or the abyss is opened, releasing the evil that is in it. Main scripture, Revelation 9:1-2. Then the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke rose out of the pit like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. What did the fifth angel sound? A trumpet. What fell to the earth from heaven? A star fallen from heaven to earth. What did this star have in its hand? Key to the bottomless pit. What did he open? He opened the bottomless pit. What rose out of this place? The smoke like a great furnace. What was darkened due to the smoke? The sun. Star that falls from heaven. Is this a heavenly angel or a fallen angel? Stars are sometimes associated with angels in the Bible. Revelation 1:20. The mystery of the 7 stars which you saw in my right hand, and the 7 golden lampstands. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 lampstands which you saw are the 7 churches. Revelation 12:3-4. And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fiery red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 diadems on his head. His tail threw a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to earth. So when do we interpret a star as one of the constellations of the sky, and when do we interpret it as an angel? Usually the context of the passage helps us. In Revelation 1, we were given the interpretation. In Revelation 12, the tail belongs to the dragon, which is symbolic for Satan, so we know the stars are also symbolic. So is this a good angel or a fallen angel? Just the fact that it fell doesn't make it a fallen angel. Yes, actually, some people believe this. The Greek word for this word, fall, merely means to descend from one place to another. The words fallen angel actually doesn't exist in the Bible, actually. Those that hold to the belief that this is a fallen angel connect this angel with the angel that is listed in Revelation 9. Revelation 9:11. And they had as king over them the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is Hebrew is Abaddon, but in Greek it's named Apollyon. Fallen angels, or demons, have fallen long before this moment in time, as they're already set or at work with Satan on the earth. This king of the demons of the bottomless pit was most likely in the abyss. How would he be able to be the king of the group he could not get to? If it was a fallen angel, then why would he be doing the bidding of the heavenly angel who sounded the trumpet? The angel's rapid descent to the bottomless pit just looks like a fall. It isn't in itself makes him a fallen angel. So it's more an angel with a mission from God, so not a fallen angel. Where is the bottomless pit on earth? We don't know, nor are we supposed to know, as if humans knew where it was, our curiosity would make us want to go there and explore. I've always personally believed it was near Babylon in the Euphrates River, as so much evil has come from there. Notice there are also 4 angels bound at the river Euphrates in Revelation 9. Revelation 9:14 and 15 release the 4 angels who were bound at the great river Euphrates. So the 4 angels who had been prepared for the hour, day, month, and year were released to kill a third of the mankind. Why bind them there unless there's a reason? Comparing 2 scriptures, it's probable the bottomless pit is in a sea or body of water. Revelations 13:1. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea. Revelation 17:8. The beast that you saw was and is not, and will ascend out of the bottomless pit. Therefore, the fact that the bottomless pit is in a body of water, this is the most we can conclude for sure. Who or what is residing in the bottomless pit? The bottomless pit, or the abyss, is the abode of the imprisoned demons and disobedient spirits. Since this bottomless pit is locked, and we know that Satan has his demons about the earth to do his bidding, then those demons inside the abyss have already been imprisoned by God for something they have done. We know Jesus, when he was in human form, could have sent demons to the abyss. In the story of the demon-possessed man, the demons begged Jesus not to send them there. Luke 8:30-31. Jesus asked him, saying, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion," because many demons had entered him. And they begged him that he would not command them to go into the abyss. Interestingly, the beast that is connected with the Antichrist comes from the bottomless pit. Revelations 11:7. When they finish their testimony, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit will make war against them, overcome them, and kill them. I personally believe that this beast possesses the Antichrist at the time of his mortal wound, which is the reason that there's so much evil in the second half of the tribulation. If another name for the bottomless pit is Tartarus, then we have more information about it. Tartarus is a Greek word for hell and is used only once in the Bible in 2 Peter. 2 Peter 2:4a. For if God did not spare the angels who sinned, but cast them down to hell, Tartarus, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved for judgment. These angels Peter speaks of are also spoken of by Jude. Jude 6a. And the angels who did not keep their proper domain, but left their own abode, he has reserved in everlasting chains under darkness for the judgment of the great day. Is this the day of judgment of which Peter and Jude spoke? Possibly. In our next section, we will see the demon locusts that come out of the abyss. Is the star that falls from heaven a heavenly angel or a fallen angel? Why do you believe this? It's coming from heaven, and it has a directive. So I think it's a heavenly angel. Who or what is residing in the bottomless pit prior to it being opened? Since we are going to have things in the bottomless pit that are there, and they have gotten there for a reason. So I think, yes, they're the sons of God that mated with the daughters of men in Genesis. And were taken care of when the flood happened. Anyway, so that's this video. I hope you continue my series. Thank you. Bye now.